Guys, so I'm going to talk to you today about how you can get more out of your car than what you probably currently are. So before we get rolling too fast, I want to give you a quick automotive history. So Henry Ford, as we all know, started basically the car that we all know today. He moved it from a horseless carriage to an automobile. But in the 1920s, we started to see a deviation from his utilitarian style. We started to see cars that were a show of character, a show of wealth. And then we have World War II. But after World War II, we still see these same styles. Cars often try to bridge the gap, but really they're the utilitarian cars, and then they're the cars that are a show of character and personality and style. So now what people mostly use cars for is they use them for getting groceries, picking up the kids, and getting from A to B. But I want to talk about what we can use cars for. So cars can be a statement of our personality, like the bug-eyed sprite on the left, or they can be used as a statement of art, like this Delahaye in the bottom right, or they can be a cathartic release for someone who wants to work on their car. But now let's talk about cars that we all know. A 1992 piece of shit, because that's probably what our first car was, and if not, then you're the lucky one. So cars can be intimidating, but the point of this is I don't want you to be too intimidated. So, look at this. We see the transmission on the left. It's incredibly confusing, a bunch of gears. And we look on the right and we see a circuit diagram. And it's for a really old car, but it still is incredibly overwhelming. First of all, the chassis, okay? It's basically a steel box with springs on each wheel. This is to keep you safe, to carry the weight of the car, and the springs are so that when you go over bumps, you don't knock any fillings out. The engine, alright? It works on 4 fundamental strokes. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Alright? It sucks in the fuel, compresses it, explodes it, and blows it all out and does it all over again. So 4 strokes per cycle. And the brakes, alright? Arguably the most important part of the car, because without them you're driving a 3,000-pound missile. So brakes basically just work by applying hydraulic pressure to these pads, which you see in purple on the left, and then those pads rub on the brake. So this all matters because if you learn about these components and a couple others, you can save yourself a lot of money when it comes to repairs on your car, and you can assess how safe a car is for when you are buying a used car, for example. But it's more than just that, because if you learn about these fundamentals of the car, you can gain a sense of freedom with your automobile and how you use it and what you do with it. And that's what I think is really counts, and that's what I want to talk about for the rest of this presentation. So the way you can get involved is, first of all, you're on my website, so this is a good start. So peruse the rest of the website and see the links. But the next thing you're going to want to do is go get some tools. I'll talk about tools a little more in a second. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is look around on the internet, find a general book that's an automotive repair book, possibly buy it or just stick to the internet, and look for something that you can do on your car. Now for tools, tools are very important for many reasons, but if you want to work on your car, invest about $100 on a toolkit, and you'll be able to take a car that we see here on the right, and through thick and thin, you will be able to keep it running with just a very... So, like I said, get a simple job to do. This can be as simple as replacing a broken headlight, or rotating tires is a good example. It's a very simple job that can be done in your driveway in a matter of half an hour or so, and just the act of getting out there working on your car, this will get you started on the path of understanding how your car works at a more fundamental basis. So now go out and find an article on YouTube or an article on the web page, and you can then read how to do this and take it out with you. So now, like I just said, go out and do it. So it really is easy to learn how cars work and what you can do with them. And I challenge you to go out there and do it, because I think you will be impressed with what you can do and how simple it is. So personally, what I have done is I've worked on my car as we see there on the left, and I've maintained it and made sure it was safe so that I've been able to take it on road trips that most people probably wouldn't take it on. And on the note of things coming out of my experiences in auto, I learned how to weld, like I said, and that turned into what I called auto art. And this has been a great source of joy for me and the people I've given these little trinkets to. And so I think things like this can happen to you too. Not exactly this perhaps, but other fields where you just start to learn how to use tools, and you'll make a tree house or make a dog house for your dog or anything like that. Something that you wouldn't normally have been able to do. And that's why it all really matters, is because I think if you learn how to work on your car and learn how to work with your hands, you will be much happier and you can enjoy these finer things in life.